This is a live shot from a helicopter that is flying over the base right now. We realize it's getting dark, but we want to stay on the live shot just a little bit, just so you can see what's going on there. This is what we know so far. NBC is reporting at least 14 wounded. 4 are said to be critical. And this just into our newsroom, CNN is reporting 1 suspected shooter is dead. Now, a caller to KCEN, our sister station there, told them that he saw at least 21 ambulances and at least 2 SWAT vehicles on base. Now, people at the nearby college were also evacuated as a precaution, and those on base are still being told to shelter in place. But, of course, the situation is still being considered active as military police are on the ground there trying to figure out what's going on exactly and to figure out who's wounded and who's safe and whatnot.
Of course, very disturbing because that was the scene several years ago of another shooting. So obviously that's bringing horrible memories to everyone across the nation, but specifically in that area, in a very tight community there as well because of the base.
And of course this information is changing throughout the night as police figure out what's going on the ground there. So stay with us. We will update you on Twitter and on our Facebook page for the very latest, as well as 12newsnow.com throughout the evening. And of course join us for 12 News HD at 10 on KBMT ABC for the very latest tonight.
Exactly. One other news, the TEA's possible takeover of the Beaumont Independent School District has parents asking lots of questions, especially those wondering how this could affect their children's college applications if the district eventually loses accreditation.
Now, a loss of accreditation would mean that BISD students would not be able to participate in the top 10% rule. Now, that rule states that if a student is in the top 10% of their high school graduating class, they're eligible for automatic admission to any public university in Texas. But that's only for accredited high schools. Accreditation simply means that the district is meeting the standards set forth by the state. But if BISD loses that assurance, students will be missing out on one of the state's biggest admission advantages. Some BISD parents say that they aren't exactly pleased to hear about the chance of losing the accreditation, but they say something had to be done about the district's troubles.
And I think losing the accreditation is definitely going to hurt our city, but it will help out our students in the future because then they can achieve what they need to.
Now, aside from affecting BISD students, parents say they think it will also hurt the entire city of Beaumont, since businesses and families moving to the area will look at the school district to decide whether or not to move here.
12 News has learned BISD's former Director of Finance, Devin McCraney, has reached a plea deal with federal prosecutors. McCraney and BISD's former comptroller, Sharik Allison, were both charged with embezzling $4 million from the district. McCraney's attorney, Todd Clemens, says as part of the agreement, McCraney will plead guilty to committing fraud on programs receiving federal funds. But the feds will dismiss the conspiracy charge against him. Clemens also says there's no recommended sentence that's part of this plea deal. He says his client could receive up to 10 years in prison. McCraney's court date is April 14th.
Well, the supplies are pouring in for the students at Hampshire Finette Elementary after a fire ripped through the school 2 weeks ago. In
that time, the community has really come together to help the students. They have received so many school supplies that the school had to bring in a portable building to store backpacks, paper, notebooks, crayons, and even items for the nurse's office. Yesterday, there was a special delivery from Walmart. Truck driver Joe McClendon is a 1981 graduate of Hampshire Finette High School. He went to Walmart from 6 different cities and collected items for the kids.
I said, why not see if I can get some of the area stores to donate supplies? They were more than gracious to step up. You know, it's for them. It's for them. Anything I can do to help them out anytime.
All students have returned to classes. The 3rd graders are currently being taught at the middle school. Principal Karen Renault says it's been an emotional time, but she expressed gratitude in the students, parents, and the community. Now, if you would like to make a donation to the school, you can drop them off at any church in the Hampshire Finette area. The cause of the school's fire remains under investigation. Well, it's a big night for youth at the South Texas State Fair tonight.
Yeah, it's the annual YMBL Junior Livestock Auction, and 12 News HD's Augustine Garcia joins us live with a preview of the auction. Augustine?
Things here at the Junior Livestock Auction about to get rolling. If you look up behind me, there's the auctioneer getting things started. As far as the audio goes, down below him is where some of the animals will be shown and where they will be during their bidding process. We're looking at smaller animals today. If you take a look this way, these are the potential buyers. I think they're actually waiting on a few more buyers to show before they get things started here. Now back to those animals, we're looking at rabbits, turkeys, broilers, and roasters. Those are just chickens. That's a neat fact, something I learned today. Should be starting here in a few minutes. Probably going to go on till about 10, maybe 9 o'clock. Still plenty of time to come out here if you want to attempt to bid on something. So feel free, come out and join us and have a good time here at the fair. We are live from the South Texas State Fair in Beaumont. Augustine Garfias, 12 News HD.
All right, thank you, Augustine. Well, that auction is streaming live from Ford Park Arena on the YMBL website. It's ymbl.org. That's pretty cool that they're streaming it live.
Exactly, and so much excitement for those kids.
It is.
They work really hard for that.
All year long.
And this helps them out with scholarships, just for the entire community. Just shows them discipline and commitment as well.
Yeah, because it's really teaching them about business, because they buy the animal at a certain price and they grow it, they feed it all year, and then they bring it to the market, so to speak, to the auction,
Just
and
awesome.
and get the proceeds.
Awesome.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Love it. All right. Well, we all know that energy drinks have become extremely popular over the past decade.
But a local store is taking a stand against kids getting their hands on them. It's concerned about what kids mix with those drinks. K-Dan Superfoods on FM 105 right down the road from Orangefield High School has signs posted saying you must be 18 years old to purchase energy drinks. The store's owner, Kenneth Smith, says he has maintained the policy for at least the past 3 years. Smith says he would hear parents talking about their kids mixing alcohol with these drinks, and that he would often see high school students buying 10 or more drinks at a time, which he called a red flag. So he took a stand and stopped selling to minors. Not everyone agrees, however, with the store's decision to do so.
I think I should be able to buy energy drinks because it helps you during the day, you know, with school and everything.
I feel that that's the business's decision, because they can refuse to sell anything to anybody who they please.
The owner says he occasionally gets flack from younger customers wanting to buy the drinks, but he says not allowing them to do so gives him a clear conscience.
Absolutely. All right. Well, it's a little muggy out there, Patrick.
Yeah, but it's so good for your skin.
That's what you keep telling me, but I'm not buying that just yet.
With the
wrinkles?
Glow and the wrinkles, it's so good.
That's always saying the glass half full.
Is that the fountain of youth? The Muggies is the fountain of youth? I believe that's
now,
what
it
you're
started
saying.
off really pleasant, but then it did that. The Muggies that you claim is good for your skin.
They are good, trust me.
It's a claim.
Yeah.
I'm not buying it.
It's an allegation there.
Well, if you really want to go into it, I can really explain what's going on with that sometime.
No, that's
but
okay.
as you can see, yeah, that's what I thought. As you can see, abundant cloud cover over the area. Temperatures lower in middle 70s. This evening, it's going to be a balmy night. And look at this. We may not get out of the 70s tonight.
Wow.
That would be, I believe, the warmest low temperature so far this year. And in fact, that's 15 degrees above normal.
Oh, wow.
Balmy's his fancy word for muggy.
Yeah.
It's a
Tries
different
to
way.
fool us.
We'll talk more about our rain chances.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thanks, Patrick.
Sure.
Well, a mother in Pennsylvania is facing murder charges after police say she drowned one child and tried to drown another yesterday.
Police say 40-year-old Laurel Michelle Schlimmer sent her 7-year-old son off to school, then proceeded to fill up the bathtub and ordered her 3-year-old and 6-year-old in. They say she claims crazy voices were telling her to hold the boys underwater. At one point, she even sat on top of them, telling police she felt as though she could be a better mother to her oldest son if her 2 youngest were in heaven. The 3-year-old did not survive the attack. Neighbors say they are shocked by the entire thing.
We've known the whole family, and they immediately befriended us, very welcoming, and that's just the kind of people they always are.
Now, Schlimmer was fined back in 2003 for leaving her toddler in a hot car.
The Obamacare drama is finally seeming to subside a bit, and both parties today switched to campaign mode. And as Steve Handelsman reports, as they look for more power in Washington, the fight is now turning to minimum wage versus big budget cuts.
Zingerman's Deli in Ann Arbor, Michigan, hoping to slingshot off what he hopes voters see as a success for Obamacare. The president pushed a separate issue that Democrats will use in the November elections, hiking the minimum wage to $10.10.
It would lift millions of people out of poverty right away.
No way, say Republicans. And Paul Ryan introduced a plan Republicans will campaign on in the fall, a balanced budget by 2024.
The more we delay to fix these fiscal problems, the uglier the solutions inevitably have to be.
Ryan would cut $2 trillion in medical subsidies, cut Medicaid $700 billion, cut $1 trillion in food stamps and farm subsidies, and hike taxes on the working poor, but not on the rich. Democrats say no way.
At its core, this budget rigs the rules of the game for wealthy special interests at the expense of everyone else.
The day after Obamacare sign-ups surged past 7 million, House Republicans moved again to roll back the law. That's their biggest campaign issue.
I can give you hundreds of letters from my constituents who have been harmed by this law.
But Boehner can't repeal Obamacare. He lacks the Senate votes. Ryan can't get his budget cuts passed. And the president can't pass a minimum wage hike.
But for 2014, what matters most is not the votes of lawmakers. It's the ballots of American voters in the midterms. That could change the balance up here and what can get passed in 2015. I'm Steve Handelsman, NBC News, Capitol Hill.
Some experts are expecting a minimum wage vote to come up in the Senate as early as next week. Several states have already independently increased theirs. Texas, sorry to say, is not one of them.
Amazon wants to be the brain and the heart inside your big screen TV.
So the company rolled out a new device today called Fire TV. It's similar to Apple's and Google's streaming devices, but has a few more cool options. A microphone-equipped remote will enable voice search, and an optional controller will allow for gaming. Content's available for Amazon's own video library as well as others, including Netflix and Hulu. Amazon says customers will get a free 30-day subscription to Amazon Prime, as well as Netflix when they buy the Fire TV, and it only costs $99.
3D printers are also revolutionizing the way things are being manufactured. Polish company Z-Morph has taken 3D printing a step further, creating a printer that can be adapted for a range of materials and designs, even the ability to produce parts for future printers. The head of Z-Morph described the printer as a personal manufacturer. With the right tool heads, all manner of products can be created, including, this is the best part, chocolate treats. The technology allows designers to print whatever they can imagine, from ceramic cups to plastic remote-controlled cars.
All right, thank you, Patrick. I believe we're going to go back out to Fort Hood for a live shot of the shooting there on the military base at Fort Hood. We have confirmed 14 people wounded. One dead. The shooter is dead, and this is what we know so far. They have been sheltering in place since about 4:30 this afternoon.
It's incredible, and of course law enforcement from throughout the area. This is obviously a military base, but it has been it's under lockdown, including the surrounding area, and as you can see numerous authorities, city police that have come to respond. And what makes this so horrible for the folks there is this is the second time in recent years that they have dealt with this. So obviously bad memories already. Again, a tragedy right now, and the only fatality we do know right now is of the shooter. However, other folks are wounded.
Yeah, we do know 4 of those 8 wounded are critically wounded, and of course, so those numbers may be changing throughout the evening. Of course, the investigation is very early in the stages. Just before our broadcast, a caller into our sister station, KCEN, told them that military police or military personnel were evacuating one of the buildings there with people. So they're going through everyone that's on base. It looks like there's some people out there.
Now, I wonder, is that the base or the actual ambulance?
There is a stretcher right there. I'm trying to see if there's somebody on that.
That's the base. This is the base.
There you see the ambulance is open. Looks to be an empty stretcher that he is rolling out, thank goodness. I believe that's an empty stretcher. Does that not look to you, Angel, like it's an empty stretcher?
Empty. Okay. Yeah, it is empty.
And so military personnel and civilian personnel both work on the base, of course.
And obviously that looks like a medical facility there at the base. Yeah.
Yeah, and they are taking. I do know that medical facility is taking. They are on their protocol that they cover in this type of situation, and they are taking anyone who is wounded at that military medical facility right there.
Obviously, this is a developing story story that we will be learning more basically throughout the night. So we just want to remind you to go to our website, 12newsnow.com, and also Facebook and Twitter. We will definitely be following the story and updating you throughout the night and in the coming days as well. Social media helps, and it also helps we have a sister station there as well. We'll be back with more right after this.
All right, for a little lightheartedness tonight. None of us really want to grow old, and this soon-to-be 4-year-old, well, she's 4 now. When the video was taken, she was 3. Listen to this cutie. She's talking about twins.
What was your favorite thing about being 3? What was something that you did while you were 3 that was real special?
This is their last day of being 3 years old.
We went to Disney World.
We did go to Disney World, didn't we? Was that special?
Yeah.
What was your favorite part about Disney World?
Being 3.
Was being 3? You loved being 3?
And now she's upset because she realizes that she's going to turn 4 and she might not get to go to Disney World.
Turn 4.
Oh.
Oh. Don't laugh at her, Hudson.
Their brother doesn't care. He's like, oh, well.
Brother's like, he called her a drama queen when I saw an interview on another
That's hilarious.
website. He called her
Poor
a drama
girl.
queen.
At least she's not turning 40.
Exactly.
We'll be
Wait till
back
you
with
get
more
there.
right after this.
And maybe 80 in a few spots, too.
Oh, wow.
It's already here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Patrick.
More to
Well,
come.
finally tonight, a father in Georgia says he's tired of his daughter's messy room, so he's decided to teach her a lesson.
Yeah, take a look at that. He moved the entire room to the driveway, including her bed, her desk, her computer, everything in the room. And he put a sign out there that said, Haley, room, move to driveway. Clean it next time. Well, Dad says Haley is a great daughter and a great student, and that he didn't mean to humiliate her, just wanted to get his point across. We don't know if it worked, but I did read a report, I will tell you, that while everything was moved out, Haley got her room painted.
Well, that's not a punishment.
Well, that's what I was thinking. And I was thinking, okay, if she got to choose the color, then it wouldn't be a punishment.
Exactly.
However, if Dad chose the color, maybe
then
it was
that could
punishment.
be the punishment, exactly. So, and of course, she had the embarrassment there. But
Exactly.
I'm sure she has plenty of other friends that don't clean up their room.
I'm sure she does, too.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
Have a great night.